the mess I'm in. A broken nose and a broken heart, an empty bottle of gin. Well, I sit and I pray in my broken down Chevrolet. Well, I'm singing to myself, there's got to be another way. Take away, take away, take away this ball and chain. Well, I'm lonely and I'm tired, and I can't take any more pain. Take away, the light to return again. Take away, take away, take away. Take away this ball and chain. Well, I've searched and I've searched to find the perfect life. A brand new car and a brand new suit. I even got me a little wife. But wherever I have gone, I was sure to find myself there. You can run all your life, but not go anywhere. Take away, take away, take away this ball and chain. Well, I'm sick and I'm tired, and I can't take any more pain. Take away, the light to return again. Take away, take away, take away. Take away this ball and chain. Well, I passed the bar on the way to my dingy hotel room. I spent all my money. I've been drinking since noon. Well, I'll wake there in the morning, or maybe in the county jail. Times are hard, getting harder. I'm born to lose and destined to fail. Take away, take away, take away this ball and chain. Well, I'm lonely and I'm tired, and I can't take any more pain. Take away, the light to return again. Take away, take away, take away. Take away this ball and chain.
Coming to you live on the air.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kittens, welcome back to the podcast. Thank you. Podcast is your home for, look at Eric, big screen up there. Podcast, your home for rational crypto news and objectivity, leaving emotion at the door, talking about what we like, why we like it, and where we see it going. We We are not. I'm sorry. We are not offering financial advice. We're telling you what we do, and that is all. We don't slow down. We don't let up. Full speed is our only speed. I'm your host, Scott, pragmatic investor who has won and lost fortunes. And joining me, as always, is the greatest producer of all time, the one, the only, the original, the mighty Bell. How are you doing tonight, Bell?
You know what? I'm not feeling anywhere near as angelic as Eric's looking with the Astrovault logo behind his head.
Right, with the goddamn halo behind his head. I swear to God, he does that on purpose, man. He aligns himself. Go ahead and say something, Eric. Take back the frame. Let's all
Yo.
There it is. See that? Look at that, man. The Holy One is with us tonight, and he's here to tell us about all kinds of good stuff. I'm not even finishing the monologue, guys. You guys have heard it before. Let's stop wasting time. Let's kind of get into it. So there's dick happening in Cosmos. Let's be real here. All right, there ain't much happening over here. It is we're stuck. You know what? We're stuck, and now you got the skip protocol that's going to come in here and just start ravaging up on Atom. You still got the ICF that is dumping Atom constantly. Everything out here is suppressed. I think Passage, Bell, pull up Passage real quick. Tell me how much that dropped today, because that thing fell like a goddamn stone, and it is actually one of the few products that are out here. Now, I've always kind of had an issue with it because I don't understand what the point of the token is. You know, crypto, for the most part, is borrowing from the future to pay for the present. And that works. The tokenomics make it work, assuming that you have a way to monetize your present so that you could pay off your future when you get there. And most of crypto doesn't have that. They simply don't. Few projects do. Projects that are generating revenue. But the ones that have been in beta for 6.5 years, the ones that are there is just no particular use for the token. It's basically crushing everything else out here. I mean, everything else is getting suppressed because you got Atom that's acting as an index token, and nobody is responsibly using Atom for anything. So I can keep fighting this fight. I can keep coming up here and talking Jackal in a cache, DVPN, Sentinel to an extent. Those are the things that I'm really only interested, because all three of these actually have a path to monetization. But there's nothing else out here that interests me. And I don't know if you guys have been, if you caught the show the other night, Eric, we did movie reviews. It was a great show, dude. You should have stuck around for that one, dude. We were hammering. Have you seen, I'm going to ask you a simple question right now, Eric, while you're on big screen. And this goes to judgment and credibility. So it's very important that you answer this correctly. Have you seen the movie Gladiator 2?
No. Love Gladiator 1, so I'm not sure if I want to watch Gladiator 2.
Okay, well,
waiting to get some feelers.
Because we went 40 minutes. I went 40 minutes, 40. Never stopped talking about Gladiator 2. It was a dumpster fire. I mean, it was so bad that you couldn't believe what you were watching. And I would love to tell you how it ended, but I couldn't get to the end of it. I made it about in 55 minutes to an hour and 5, and that was it. I was like, I cannot in good conscience watch this anymore. It was not just bad, it was awful. And that's kind of how the night went. We're doing that because there's basically nothing else to talk about out here in Cosmos. It's the same things, it's the same talking heads sending the same message. Now,
right,
I've been
so Eric, inquiring minds have got to know. Beetlejuice. Have you seen that, and what are your thoughts?
The original scared the crap out of me when I was like 4. I don't do scary movies, and everyone's like, oh, that's not a scary movie. I don't know. I'm not going to find out.
Okay, good, because I didn't think it was that good. Belle loved it. She thought it was great. I thought it was a movie.
I think it was hilarious.
If I was on a real long plane flight and was just kind of going through them, like flying to Dubai or something, sure, let's watch Beetlejuice. It passes the time, and that's good enough for me. But that one, no, I wouldn't spend that. You dedicate your night to that one. That's all I was saying. Belle and I disagree on that. She's wrong, but that's okay. We can fix her. We can fix her later in life. So anyway, guys, what I was getting at with this is that I'm talked out on the Cosmos. There's really nothing else I can really say over here. I love Jackal, and I'll continue to mention it. I love a cache, and I'll continue to mention that. As much. Actually, I think it's starting to get right priced for the first time in a long time. So it's a little bit more interesting to me. And I'm going to talk up Aegis. I'm going to talk up Aegis and Sigya because unbeknownst to the Cosmos, the most exciting thing that's going to be coming out of the Cosmos is sitting over there on my upper left shoulder. And the carries that's going to give to so many different things in so many different ways will never be acknowledged. I'm fine with that because I don't need their acknowledgement. at all. We are literally going out to ETH Denver, pitching this to people that still have their heads kind of screwed on right. So it was very, very important for us that we get Eric Wiseman up here. And we will mention, we'll talk a little bit of Astrovault. I know you guys are curious about that. And we're certainly going to, I've already laid out my case for it. If you have any specific questions in it regarding it, please ask Eric. I am not in any way, shape, or form affiliated with Astrovault. So if you have any specific questions regarding that, please ask Eric. But the stuff that he's working on now, the groups that he is working with now, the things and products and all that they're working with now are a hell of a lot more interesting to me than anything that's coming out of the cosmos. So I thought it was important that we get him on before we really start hitting Ethereum Denver and all that other stuff. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I give you the neck himself, the one, the only, the original Eric Wiseman. Eric, how are you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me back. Love the setup, man. It's looking sharp.
Isn't it good? And when it's all functional, we actually did a real estate stream this morning with my buddy John down in Texas. Dude, that guy knows more about real estate than any human needs to know. I'm just going to kind of leave it there. And he knows this business, and I know he knows because he's zeroed out like 3 times. Apparently, that's just the path in real estate, is that you have to make bad decisions, lose all your money, learn from them, and then you come back and do something else. And that's kind of what he did. But that's what we want to do here. I like the big layout. I like the big setup. We're dead as far as actual being relevant in anything right now. We stuck around Cosmos too long, dude. That's all it is. But I'm ready to go on this journey with you. So tell me, what got you real excited right now? Why are you going to Ethereum Denver? Why should anybody care? Why don't you go ahead and address that for a little bit? I'm going to smoke. I'm going to hit my cigarette. 1 second. Let me hit some of this. Let me. Pal, this is the one from last night. Let me get. Hang on. God, man. Oh, why do I do that to myself again? Dude, this is like deep throating a road flare. All right, this is toxic. It's got good taste, but this has got some burn, man. And I usually like the burn, but this might be a bridge too far for me. Anyway, I'm all done. Eric, go ahead, serve it up, talk it up. What's going on?
Yeah, I mean, you guys know me. I've been sitting up on my podium talking about decentralized business for forever. And while there are a lot of great ideas for decentralized business in Cosmos, there's no users, there's no funding, there's no traction. And so the few things that are doing really good, the stuff you mentioned at the beginning of the show, like as far as like building the framework for a business, they're even realizing like, well, we need to go find where the customers are because they're not here. I mean, we've noticed this with Astrovault. Our users are down. Our volume is down. Lord knows all the tokens and liquidity is down. All the teams are quiet. The difference is those teams raised a whole bunch of money and we didn't. So we've had great ideas. We've got more great ideas. We're building more stuff. But in the meantime, without raising, everyone knows I've worked different jobs in the meantime to pay the bills and to help fund Astrovault. And Dopenomics, my tokenomics consulting firm, actually took on an exclusive client. So I'm now announcing that I'm running the DeFi operations division of Alpha Growth, who is like a premier service provider for all of Web3 and working with a lot of the biggest names in crypto and outside of crypto. And doing some really cool stuff, getting traditional finance integrated, building real business products and whatnot, and all this stuff that I've been talking about and wanting to do, making that happen where there are users, where there is funding, going to where the action's happening, because it's pretty far ahead of Cosmos right now, and it's a healthier business culture, I'll say. Even if the tech is behind in some ways, I mean, where there's velocity, things are going to happen. So I'm going to ETH Denver to help out some of the clients that we've got and that we're working with, establish some more partnerships. I'm going to be presenting on insurance and reinsurance. So talk about decentralized business, literally health insurance, supported by like in Ethereum by staking ETH, allowing real users to replace United Healthcare. Like I'm not a fan of like the whole Luigi Mangione thing. That was awful, but the sentiment behind it makes sense. And we're in a position where crypto can do things way better and more equitable than a lot of these bloated, fake private sector businesses that have survived on government bloat for forever.
Yep. And I agree with that. I want to talk some more about that one because that's actually very, very interesting to me what they have going on over there. But those guys have kind of deep pockets, don't they?
A lot of the people in crypto have very deep pockets. We've just been in Cosmos where very few do, and they're not active. So,
Well, you
yes,
know what? I noticed that they're over there sponsoring Rack FM to do Twitter Spaces for them. Why don't you put in a good word, dude? Because we have to upgrade. All right, look, man, this shit ain't cheap. All right, and we need an 80-inch television here. I need an 80-inch LCD touchscreen television so I could really give you the Jim Cramer effect because that's what we have going on. But those things ain't cheap, dude. I've put more money in here than I really should have based on our viewers. So that's actually my plan is just going to be over there sponging off from the velocity of sponging off their velocity, dude, attracting new users, getting them over here, making correct messages about things that are actual businesses. That's what interests me. That's the only thing that interests me. I have not lost faith in crypto. I have not lost faith in blockchain technology, not even a little bit. Now, I was very, very fortunate in my journey that I got into some of these projects very, very low. But let me ask you something, Eric, based on the people that you're working with now. Where would Jackal be sitting had Jackal launched anywhere, launched their token anywhere but here in the Cosmos? Where would Jackal be sitting right now with the tech and the push and all of the upgrades that they're doing and all the apps they're building and everybody who's building on them? If you had to make a guess, and it doesn't matter, man, because it didn't happen, but let's go ahead and Magic 8-Ball this thing. Where would the Jackal token be sitting right now if it had launched in any other environment but the Cosmos?
I don't know.
You
not the
suck.
answer. Not the answer you want. I don't know if Jackal's build is possible on other tech stacks, and even then, like it's business savvy, but that's weird and predatory. Where you might see, you might see something launch and then their idea gets stolen and copied 3 other times by people with more money. And so if they did try to prove out the proof of concept and they didn't get the funding to back it and they're going a little bit slower, then somebody else is going to go in with $200 million and hire a team of 300 people to go build it faster. And then with the marketing and the connections they've got, then they're going to be the ones that are known for it. And it's not always the first to market. It's the first to, become the verb,
Yeah.
ChatGPT is one of the worst AI services, and they're one of the most expensive. But it's the verb. It's what people know, and so it's considered a blue chip.
It's the nature of this space, dude. All right, it's the nature of this space is that the bulk of the people. Now, I don't know about the power players, dude. I can't talk for them. You're dealing with them now. All right, you're dealing with the guys that can really, really move needles. So I can't comment on them because I don't have that capability anymore, dude. It's been a rough year for me as well as about anybody else that's over here. So I can't really comment on any of that stuff. But aside from like the generic retail that just simply sits out here and chases memes, chases narratives, chases all this stuff, that's all they know is exactly that, the verb. That's it. That's all they care about. Whatever's hot right this second, they're in until it isn't, and then they're out. And that right there, this max extraction thing that everybody's trying to do over here in crypto right now is it's a cleansing right now, man. This is almost as bad as the .com. And I was there. You weren't. I know because you're like 18 years old. But I was actually there for that, dude. And this feels an awful lot like it. Now, Belle and I have been talking this. We've been up here alone on this lonely island for about 2 years, telling you we're coming out of a bubble and shit's going to blow up. We've been saying flat out, whatever you think, this whole big alt season and yeah, it's never going to happen. It's like mathematically impossible for it to happen right now because the capital is simply not there. Bitcoin dominance doing what it's doing because they're attracting, I hate to say it, man, but they're attracting the least common denominator type of investors, just the pure maxis that absolutely believe that Bitcoin's going to 300,000. It might someday. But it ain't happening right now. It ain't happening anytime soon. And dude, I just don't jump up and down for a 2x. That doesn't really do it. I mean, I'm here for percentages, man, and I can do better. But I can do better by investing in actual products, actual tech, actual teams that are still up there and still doing their thing. That's why I still hold so much of your Astrovault token. That's why I'm still an investor with you, because I think it's going to work out good. And it actually gets me more encouraged right now because you're working with all of these other teams that actually do have the deep pockets that might, pick up on this and say, holy shit, this is a good idea. The token makes sense. The tokenomics makes sense. The way they're running this, building up protocol and liquidity, it all makes sense. I imagine, what would that look over here on like Arbitrum? What would that look at some of these, or over on Base or something like that? So that's always possible. And when it does, obviously liquidity flows in, everybody goes up, we all make a whole bunch of money, and that's all that it's about. But it's got to be about more than that. That's where it really comes down to me. That's why I'm interested in so many of these things. So, or what you guys have going on over there. You got me fired up again, dude. I mean, I was keeping my head down as much as anybody else, and I'm up here live 8 goddamn days a week. So you actually got me motivated again, because from what we're seeing out here, what we're feeling out here, the experiences that we're having out here on crypto Twitter is just doom and gloom, dude. It's just death. It's all is lost. Max extract. And as soon as people start doing that, you get things like 20%, 30% dump offs on some of these Cosmos tokens. And there's got to be more than that. That's it. There's got to be more to life than that. That's why you kind of inspired me. So tell me about what you're actually going to be talking about out there in East Denver, because there's one project that got me going, a big rubbery one, and Bell was right there with me. So why don't you tell me about this one? Healthcare is a problem. Paying for healthcare is a problem, and the fact that we are locked into a single system. Well, whether it's Anthem or Blue Cross or Blue Shield or whatever, either way, it's the same model on effectively all of these things. And you guys seem to be suggesting that you might have cracked that code a little bit. Why don't you tell me about that?
Yeah, so fundamentally, the way I work is I do system design. I track the incentives. I track the intents behind what was written and then how it functions. Track when, things flow from intent to letter, like legal systems and whatnot. And so now the laws aren't doing what they're meant to do, because now they're doing what they're written as, but that's because writing changes and situations change. And if you maintain intents as well as you can, things go better. And nothing frustrates me more than government mess up incentives. I've been loving what Elon's been doing with Doge. It's not perfect, but it's fantastic. It's much, much needed.
Fucking wrecking ball, dude. And I am emotionally aroused every time he tweets. I'm fucking dining on this, dude. I love it.
So a little bit of economic philosophy before I dive in on like what I'm going to be talking about is like economics is usually defined as like how to distribute scarce resources. But a lot of people assume that resources have a fixed level of scarcity, which isn't true. And capitalism incentivizes investment and research and development to create resources. Private sector, business, creates resources. So if business is doing well, then the sheer amount of total resources to distribute goes up, but they get distributed inefficiently. And so then public sector, government comes in and they're like, hey, we're going to help distribute this better to make the world a better place. However, everything that they do reduces the total level of resources. So they are a net negative on supply of resources, but a net positive on distribution. But the bigger and bigger and bigger the public sector gets compared to the private sector, now you're getting less and less resources to distribute. And because they're public sector, the incentives to distribute them equitably go away. The transparency that ensure they do their job well goes away. And then it becomes a bureaucratic vampire, which is exactly what our government's been for at least the last 50 years, and just exponentially increasing. So I want to fix systems that are designed to build a worse world by building ones that are by the people, for the people, and ideally can sustain far longer than these initial poorly built systems were. I would love to build, like, I'm a fan of universal basic income, which is one of the reasons my family thought I'm a communist, because it can be done far more efficiently than previous help systems can be, in a way that incentivizes people to work, get maximum productivity out of people, give maximum health and incentives to people. And part of this ties into healthcare. Right now, healthcare pretends to be a private sector industry. They pretend to be creating resources because, they're private companies. And so private companies are private sector, right? However, when the public sector came in to distribute, they were like, hey, well, everyone needs this, everyone needs that. and kind of equated some things to what would be like a positive monopoly, things like having shared utilities, because that's actually more efficient. And that's not the case in a lot of these public sector endorsed businesses. So when they came in and said everybody has to have health insurance, every employer has to pay for health insurance for their users, now these companies got a captive audience that has no choice but to purchase their product. When they have blank checks, government subsidies in ways that don't mandate like typical profits, then they can do whatever they want. They don't have to provide good services. They don't have to provide competitive pricing. They can just sit on their fat asses and have people get raked to like buy public sector mandates through distribution, and it's awful. And they haven't evolved at all over the last 50 years, with the exception of like denying more claims to raise more profits, as they're mandated to do as C corps. They're doing a good job as a C corp that's subsidized by a government, and the whole system sucks. And we can do better. So, any questions yet, or can I dive into how it kind of works?
I'm actually going to jump in here, Eric, and give an example of everything that you're talking about.
Sweet.
Because there is a company. I've got notes. So in January of this year, a physician in New Jersey did an injection of non-compounded foam sclerosant. So they're treating varicose veins here. This is an ultrasound procedure that was done in their office. For the first visit, they billed $61,320. For the second visit, 2 days later, another $61,320. That is egregious, and it is one thing that really pisses me off.
Why are they spending that much on varicose veins? You know what else will treat varicose veins? Spray paint. And it's about $4 a can. All right, all you got to do is just shake her up, spray them down. There you go, man. We're good. And you know what? For $60,000 in treatment, that's a lot of spray paint. All right, just go ahead and coat it up, man. Women wear makeup all the time. I don't get that. I'm gonna let you go, dude.
The varicose veins can actually hurt there, so there's a bit more to it than spray paint, Scott.
I disagree. I disagree because I don't know shit about it. So I'm gonna go ahead and disagree. It is the podcast. I'm allowed to do that. And before I really just go, absolutely Milton Freeman on Eric for even suggesting universal basic income, dude. I am more than happy to have that fight. We're not going to do it here, but we're going to do it in Denver. All right, when get a little liquor in me. All right, and me and you are
one for the camera.
We're me and you are gonna have at it, dude, because holy Christ, are you wrong on that? You could throw your math and your anecdotes at me all day, but I'm gonna win this one because nice and easy, dude. Look, what happens when you incentivize something? What happens when government incentivizes a product? What happens? What happens?
When government incentivizes a product?
A product, a business, an industry, or anything like that.
They get less efficient.
Yes. So if you're incentivizing people with the universal basic income, saying that you don't have to do fuck all, but we're still going to pay you, how is this different? You know what, dude? I'm telling you, you do not want to open this box. If you do, that's the whole rest of the show. I would much rather talk about what you guys are doing out there in Ethereum Denver, and we can. Let's
talk about other stuff, but I'd love to dive into this. I mean, this is what I do.
Okay, and this is what I do. All right, this is the unstoppable force and the immovable object, dude. I've been arguing this for 25 fucking years. It's almost as long as you've been alive. So I'm ready, man. I would have that go. All right, Belle, do we actually have any questions up here, or can we just go ahead and carry on?
We have a few comments and questions, actually.
All right, let's go ahead and get them on, and then we're going to let Eric fire away. So go ahead, Belle.
All right, so first question coming in from Political before the show. Will we be doging your crypto account this evening?
Sure, we can doge it. I'm down on effectively everything. The only thing that I've had over the last year is the best producing anything that I've had over the last few years, with the exception of a Cash, Jackal, and Injective. And the only reason that I was so successful on those is because I bought so much so low. That's it. So even with Jackal at its current price, I think it's about 16 cents. I did the bulk of my buying at 2 cents. So if you want to talk about a patient, and it was data futures. That's all I was buying was data futures. With the cash, I was buying compute futures. With Injective, I was buying stupidity futures because this is kind of how it goes, and it's worked out real well for me. But over the length of time that I've been investing out here in the crypto world, which is many, many years, the most successful that I've been on anything has been anything that's touching Ethereum. Anything that is touching or wrapped or has any way to go around Ethereum. That's always been it. Now, the people that are screaming for $10,000 Ethereum, they're fucking wrong. It'll never, ever hit $10,000. The market is too diluted now. It's like mathematically impossible. It could. If everybody decided at a stroke, fuck Bitcoin, we're going into Ethereum, sure, it'll go up. But as it's going up, people are just going to dump. This is the way it is. Ethereum is like anything else. The supply is mismanaged. So, yeah. But as far as stability in my personal portfolio, anything tied to Ethereum. That's my, or anything tied to Ethereum or anything tied to USDC has been my most successful investments out here in the entire world. Anyway, I hope that answered the question. Belle, carry on.
All right. So, Idiot Fish, congratulations on the new opportunity, Eric. Will this help Astrovault?
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah, it will. The connections I've made, the friends I've got, help. We're having quite a few opportunities in front of us right now for where to go and what to do. More applications and use cases we can bring in under the DAO, under the AXV token. Several that we're going to pursue. Right now we're triaging which to go when and where. First and foremost, we're already building Outbid several places with a bit of a new design. So that stuff's fun. Obviously the payment processing. But there's more new cool stuff that I'm kind of at the front of. That we're in a position to use before they catch on. So,
Are you going to say any of those things, or are you going to be obscure? Is that what you're going to do here, dude?
I'm not saying anything until with different partners it's time to. I'm not saying things until things are signed, but it is my position that this is good for Astrovault. Okay. The alternative is like, yes, I know I've had several investors get frustrated at me and some even sell and be like, oh, like when I signed up here, like I thought I was getting all of your time. And like, look, that's well and great. Like I've spent more on Astrovault than we've ever raised. I put my entire life savings from the previous bull market into this. I need to be able to take care of my family. And if I don't sell it to VCs, or that's not even an option, then I've got to find something to do. And so what most founders do is they pretend the project's alive, and they go and they work for a competitor, or they get whatever job they can, and they're like, yeah, maybe in 3 years I'll learn more and try again. And they don't keep building and keep things under the same token and keep being honorable to the community. And we refuse to do that. So yes, I'm taking other jobs and making more money. I'm actually buying AXV back to keep infrastructure costs and things paid from Astrovault. And we're building more stuff, and we're pivoting, we're building our way out. And we actually have a really good reputation behind the scenes for our BD and connections and ingenuity. So we've shown we're capable with what Astrovault is right now. Our bet on the Cosmos ecosystem to date has not been successful, and that's frustrating. Maybe it will over time. I'm really bullish on the Skip team. That said, we have more friends and more partners with more capital who trust us more now, and that's a good thing.
See, now just imagine, Eric, if you had a universal basic income, dude, you wouldn't have to hustle as much as you're hustling now because, you're under the gun and you have to. Imagine if you could just sit at home and just collect a basic income enough to sustain you, the family.
How much do you think I'm talking about? Milton Friedman supported a negative income tax. A negative income tax is not that different from UBI.
Are we going to go, Bill? You know what? I gotta stop, Bill. Yep. This is it, man. I'm ready because I'm a heavyweight up here, man. Look, I wanna fight against people in my weight class. All right, that's all it comes down to. Anyway, carry on, Bill.
Save it for an evening in Denver when Ethan is also there, and you can have this discussion.
You know what? And he's gonna need Ethan. He's going to need Ethan. He's going to need lots of backup because if you're going to have a go at something like this, you better bring friends with you, man. All right, you don't want none of this. This is my job. I've been doing it for a long time. It's simply to win arguments. And if I have to go scorched earth on you, Eric, I will go scorched earth on you. You know who else liked the universal basic income? Eric, you know who else liked it? Hitler. That's it. I played the Hitler card. You can't come back from that now, man.
Watch me.
He was a big fan of that as well. Go ahead, Bell.
And he completely fixed his country's economy.
Oh my God. Are we? Oh my God, man. We might have to pivot this whole show right now. I got a hunch if we don't have any comments yet, I got a hunch that some are coming. Here we're gonna go, man. Let's get
Not a fan of a lot of stuff he did.
Let's get
fan of the monetary policy
here,
for the most part.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, sure. Okay. No, we're going to, you know what? I'm going to put the camera on. We're going to live stream from my phone and whatever bar we happen to be on. And we're going to have this. All right. We're going to have this out. And you guys want entertainment beef? This is entertainment and beef. Eric is so wrong about so many things. So let's go ahead and tune him up. Belle, carry on.
All right. And Eric, just so you know, I'm going to tag Katie to hold the camera while all this is going on because this is going to be great. All right. So new type, drop in the comment because what happens after the Jackal launch on base, if that doesn't help then we can't blame it's because of liquidity or the performance of Jackal.
No, I'll take this one. I don't need Eric for this one. Yeah, it's look, if you want to make token go up, get consumers. If you want to make token go up, get customers. If you want to make token go up, get people to use Jackal protocol. This is low-hanging fruit, and for some reason, it resonates everywhere perfectly, with the exception of the crypto world, because in the crypto world, the only thing that matters is token go up. It doesn't matter. The tech doesn't matter. We keep going on and on about this. It doesn't matter. What matters is the verb. What matters is the narrative. What matters is token go up. That's the only thing. I'm not going to turn this into a Jackal stream. All right. I give them enough of my time, enough of my energy and all that stuff. So I'm not going to turn this into a Jackal stream. But if you would like your token to perform, hustle. It's not that fucking hard. Bell and I, just horsing around a little bit here, have onboarded 300 new consumers over to the Jackal protocol. And we did it in 72 hours. It is possible. But 300 isn't enough. We need 3,000. I literally threatened Patrick right there on Twitter, out in front. I said, dude, I'm going to crash your RPCs with thousands and thousands of people that are putting up files simultaneously. I will force you to scale. And he said, you don't have the stones. And then USA beat Canada. And all of a sudden, man, it turned a little bit. All of a sudden, holy shit, maybe we do have the stones. So, no, that's it, man. Look, you have got to recalibrate the way that you're looking at products versus the way that you're looking at crypto. Crypto is Dave Portnoy. Dave is just this complete jack-off that pulls his cock out every single time and beats the ever-loving hell out of anybody who listens to him. And he takes all their money. That's crypto. We're not talking about crypto. We're talking about something entirely different. We're talking about products, traditional business. Borrowing from the future, that's what the token is for, so that you could pay for the present without having to go through traditional means. That's all it is. But the only way that it's going to work is if you are monetized so that you can at least finance what you've already borrowed off from. I hope that makes sense to people. Anyway, Belle, I see your hand going up in the air. Go ahead.
I'm actually going to bounce a couple things off of Eric here since we've got him on the stream.
Who?
Eric, would you describe Astrovault as more than just a DEX?
Yeah. I mean, we've got multiple products right now. We're adding multiple products. The terms of DEX and what in DeFi is changing. It's changing fast. The types of products that make money is actually changing fast. If you look into like what used to be MEV, what's OEV now, and then the different ways it's going to connect to create privacy, to enable abstraction, things are getting interesting, and it's fantastic. You can classify some lending protocols as DEXs now, or some DEXs as options, just based on how you liquidity provide. So, Astrovault is a DEX. It's more than a DEX, and we're growing.
Okay, well, one of the things that you do for any partner organizations is a nice, lovely M word. What is that M word, Eric?
Monetize?
Well, I was thinking more marketing, but okay.
Oh, yeah, we do that.
Come on,
Try.
work with me here. I'm trying to help you out, dude.
Eric's head is not there, man. We should have got Benji on. God,
It's a lot of
Benji's
it's a lot of words. Oh, dude, he's probably out eating beans or whatever their like blood cakes are or something.
Yeah, that blood pudding and kidney beans or whatever that weird shit that they eat over there. He's just so funny, man. Benji is funny. He gets so emotional. I mean, so quick. And he swears. I mean, a lot. He swears as much. I've been doing those Rack FM spaces in the morning over there with Robo. And oh my God, man, the language that comes out of these people, dude, is just. I'm I'm an English major, man. Even I'm like, fuck. I got to break out. What does he mean by it's blinder? What the fuck does that mean? That's what I get out of those. I think it'd be fun to get. I think it'd be fun getting him out of there. All right, Belle, carry on.
All right, so Amido, and this, yeah, Eric, you were also asked after after this was asked to weigh in. Have you checked out that new Magma platform on Osmosis? It looks pretty interesting. Would be cool if you ran a vault for a jackal pair. Seems like you can get much better yields using their architecture compared to regular Osmosis pools.
What is Magma? I went to their site from the comment. It looks like it's a new decentralized stablecoin. I don't think that us normal Cosmos users recognize how far behind we are in like proper Ethereum infrastructure. It's like I used to not believe at all in decentralized stablecoins, and now I'm like, Liquid EV2 is super cool and can be deployed in some really cool ways. There are some really neat games going on. The top ALMs and AILMs are fantastic. What can be done with Uniswap v4 vaults is scary cool. And like, especially with Unifor, I don't get too far into the weeds, but like, that's something that could be done on Cosmos and be super, super cool. But like, we're so far from having the infrastructure to be able to pull that off that like, we're just trying to play catch up. So if Magma is like a proper ALM, I would compare like Steer Finance as a really good example one. If they're like that, then bullish. It's not going to be more concentrated than hybrid pools, but also we're moving more towards the ALM fancy vault mechanics going forward. And yeah, I mean, we could always try more things. They have aggregator integration for what aggregation we have in Cosmos.
Now,
right,
you know,
Ambido
I'll let you go,
actually-
Belle. I get to drop in on this one too because I'm a little bit more familiar with Magma than probably Eric is. Anything that comes out of the Cosmos right now, anything whatsoever, I am immediately suspect. You have two groups of people out here in the Cosmos. You have the grifters and you have the victims. And if you're not in on the grift, then you are sitting there on the other side of it are going to end up being a victim. There's a lot of kids with an amp farm and a magnifying glass that's just trying shit out, and they're trying shit out on your money. And when it doesn't go right, then they have an army of idiots that are going to go up there to crypto Twitter and saying, you just don't understand. We got to wait. Don't worry. It's going to be great. Yeah. That is Cosmos, man. And as we continue to go down this path, max extraction, that you're starting to see that term show up a little bit more. Max extraction. Get as much out of it as you can while it's alive, and then go ahead and let it blow up, and then you move to a more fertile field. That's what's been happening over here. I aside from the D-pin, which I consider the D-pin just simply the best that exists anywhere over here in crypto, with the exception of the D-pin, I have very little faith in anything that's out here. I have tremendous amount of faith in Astrovault because I recognize that this thing is an index token, and the correct pairings with it is it's actually there. So it's gonna get the carry, and that's really where it kind of comes down to for me. The best thing I think Astrovault has going for it right now, they haven't even launched. It's going to be their pay rail. People are starting to pick up on this. I'm seeing it more and more on Twitter. I'm seeing it more and more everywhere. People are starting to say now the shit that Belle and I were saying 2 years ago, and people are starting to pick up on that a little bit. I consider them 2 years late, and that's fine. That gave us 2 years to front run all of this stuff, and when we launch our the apps and we actually move and go live, we're going to show everybody. And actually, I see that as a really, really good thing, and kind of like the birthplace of people realizing that they've been wasting years and years and years of their life, that what they should have done, we did. So I'm kind of cool with that, and I'm, like I said, I'm 100% confident that we're going on the right path on this. But the best thing that Astrovault has going for it is the fact that they see this and they're front running this a little bit. We need a pay rail. That's it. We absolutely need a pay rail. Now, we can easily go with credit cards, and we're going to accept them. We could easily go with Flexa, and we're going to implement it. We could easily go with all of these things. But the money shot for us is going to be that guy right there. When they release that pay rail, that is tuned perfectly to what we built and why we built it. And then after that, it is just a matter of us going out, showing off the app, educating the people that we need to educate to make sure it goes up there, make sure it gets traction, and then it explodes. And when it explodes, that's it. You don't think, if you think I'm intolerable now, when do we make this work? You have no idea how insufferable I'm going to be and spiking the football on every one of these goddamn jagoffs that have spent their time telling me how wrong I am. I cannot wait for that. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm allowed to rant, Eric. Fuck you. I'm allowed to rant, but go ahead, Belle. Carry on. Or
right.
Are we way over time? Man, God, we haven't even taken a break. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Belle. We don't need a break. Fuck it.
All right. So Ambido actually chiming in saying, nah, it's Don Kryptonium's LP Vault platform. You can be a vault manager and earn a performance fee. Users can get better yields without needing to manage their liquidity as often.
Yeah, and I knew it was Don Kryptonium. I've been talking with Jacob. I think he wants to come on here and shill it. I knew it was, and you know what? If I'm going to go ahead and leave my money with somebody, it's going to be over with Astrovault and on the Eric Wiseman and Ethan side of it, because I actually trust them. Guys are grifters, man. That's all this is just another way of grifting. We have enough of this, and Cosmos cannot take too many more shots. Anyway, carry on, Belle.
All right, Bud, I feel Jackal is launching on Base in hopes of Coinbase listing, but I'm doubtful that will happen. Are Base devs asking for storage? Is not having Jackal impeding their development?
Who wants to answer this? You want me to, or you want Eric to?
I'll jump in.
Go for it.
Yes, base devs need storage. All of these blockchains need storage. Cosmos is actually, as far as I know, the best chain for storage outside of Jackal. If you think of like, you know, a blockchain being like a sequencer and data storage, having to build stuff on Solana and on Ethereum, like a lot of it is a wake up call. Like so many of these cool things that we could automate in Cosmos, we can't just because of how limited the chains are. And so we need to have like off-chain databases and external operator wallets that like create custom oracles. And all of these types of things can and should run through Jackal. And all these products would run far better if the fancier things that they build off-chain were through Jackal that's connected in the same block. So yes, Base needs Jackal. They might not know it because they're doing weird workarounds that I've had to do as well to build what they need to build. But their work would be way easier and their products safer and their users safer if they did that with Jackal instead. I'd love to see Jackal connect with like TLS and whatnot. But yes, Base needs Jackal. No, like I don't know. I'm not gonna speak for them. I, as a Jackal like holder myself, like I would be shocked if like listing on Aerodrome meant they got a Coinbase listing. That's not the steps here. Like you got to start smaller. It costs over $1 million to get listed on Bybit right now. They don't have the. I don't know, maybe they've got crazy market makers lined up behind the scenes. That to me would be a huge jump. But getting higher velocity and higher awareness, getting more customer acquisition, and B2B deal flow, and getting richer and better connected people excited about it will go a long, long way. Make disciples.
Yeah, and that's kind of the rub there, man. And again, I've been talking about this for a goddamn year, man. Even the token launch over on Base is for visibility, bro. That's what it is. People, hey, look at here, look at Jackal. Jackal, the purpose of the Jackal token is to use the Jackal protocol. That's kind of it. Is you need Jackal to interface with the Jackal protocol unless you're using Aegis, in which case, or Sigia. It's Sigia now, dude. Matthew told me, he said you got to stop saying Aegis. So Sigia. Unless you're doing that, in which case you'll be using the Jackal token without even being aware that you're using the Jackal token. But you're trying to get this token over here, and we got to get Coinbase and these big listings. You're trying to get this to compete against fucking meme tokens. That's effectively what you're trying to do right now, and it's not a meme token. It's just not going to work that way. It's visibility. It's consumers. It's people that are now using the Jackal chain that before were not using the Jackal chain. Patrick keeps posting these anecdotal stories, and they just absolutely die. Like the golf simulator guys that they got working on right now, they were paying $5,000 a month. $5,000 a month for AWS. They're paying $150 a month with Jackal. All right, these are enormous cost savings. You're talking of just staggering cost savings. So for Jackal to really get its run, it needs consumers because people are buying the Jackal token. They're using it on the Jackal chain, and that is what it is. But if you want this to go out there and compete, people have just got there. You've got to recalibrate, guys. You have got to start thinking about this differently. It ain't a matter of token go up. It's more important of why token will go up. That's what you need to be thinking. We've been shouting this for years. That's what you need to be thinking of. And if you're not, then you're just going to remain a victim out here to all of the goddamn grifters. Find the teams that are working hard. Find the teams that are hustling. Find the things that have product market fit. Because it seems to be, it doesn't even seem to be. It is the way forward for blockchain technology coming out of here. Anyway, that's it. Belle, please carry on.
That was actually the last one for the moment, although Ambido is saying, okay, I have a technical question for Eric. He just hasn't asked it yet.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. While he types it up, I'm going to go ahead and play a song because I just really like this song. This is the way I like index tokens, this is an index band. And I happen to enjoy it. So if you could, guys, please, we're going to play a song. We'll come back. We'll take the last bit of the questions. We'll let Eric finish up everything that's going on in Ethereum Denver. And it's segueing us wonderfully into the things that this program is going to be talking about because we're effectively done with Cosmos, man. There is really nothing else that we can say about what's going on over here. I had more fun just doing movie reviews than I've had in a year talking about Cosmos shit. So, guys, if you could, please, just give us a couple minutes. We're going to play a song. We're a radio show. We'll be right back. And if you got any other questions, please get them up right here on the podcast on the KPOD network.
It's been a long year since you've been gone. I've been alone here, we've grown old. Fall to pieces, I'm falling. Fell to pieces, and I'm still falling.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kittens, welcome back to the podcast. Thank you. All right, Bell, did Ambido get his question in? Because if not, I'm going to start talking about Siggy again. I'm cool with it either way.
Ambido did get his question in, but first, I've got to do something really important. I mean, this is seriously important, and yeah, this kind of hurt, Eric. I mean, good grief. So a few weeks ago, we were in Tennessee, and we did have a meeting with Eric, and he committed a crime.
Oh my God, I know what story you're about to tell. This is shocking.
It's a crime. Eric literally mixed regular Coke with a very, very expensive bottle of Jack Daniel's Sinatra blend.
Eric, can you explain yourself?
So, I'm a rum guy. Not a huge drinker, but I'm a rum guy. And not a big bourbon guy. I know you people are all bourbon people, and most of my friends are bourbon people. It's something I have to overcome. I'll witness to them. And I'm mid-pour, like, you know what? At least I can do it in a mixed drink. And I'm like mid-pour in this, and you're like, yeah, that's however, really expensive bottle of bourbon. And I'm just like, oh my God.
That's $160 a bottle for that, and you mixed it with fucking Coke, you pleb. You pet. I'm gonna make Robo talk shit about you tomorrow, because I'm gonna jump on his stream just so he can bust your balls. All right, so yeah, look, Ethereum Denver's come.
Ethan, if you're listening, give Eric a hard time for this. That was literally a crime. I just about cried.
Fire him.
My bottle of Sailor Jerry's is like $30, and that gets me by for a couple months. So I wasn't ready.
Well, I'm not a $2 alcoholic, dude. I'm an executive alcoholic, and being an executive alcoholic means that I need a much higher quality of swill. All right, dude. So look, I'm going to be covering everything that's going on over there at Ethereum Denver. I'm going to be putting out shorts. I'm going to be putting out videos. I'm going to be putting out everything. And some of these behind-the-scenes discussions are not going to be exactly behind the scenes. I will request people to give a thumbs up. Can I record this? And if they do, we're going to be posting it up. Look, you guys are the podcast family. You've been with us this entire time. So I'm going to make sure that the information that I hear that can be disclosed will be disclosed. We're going to be out there on all of these things. But for all of that, and as excited as I am about it, because we get to pitch Siggia. Okay, Matthew, I said Siggia. We get to pitch Siggia to an awful lot of people. Now, fortunately, my tokenomics person is sitting right there. He's the big blue head right now, because I can't seem to get with the halo, because I can't seem to get my color correction done. But we're going to we're going to dedicate this last little portion of the show to my personal app, because I do believe that we cracked the code. I believe that we cracked it all the way, every way that it could be cracked. I believe that we did it. And I've been pushing this stuff over, Eric. I've been putting out the information that you gave to me, because I'll tell you flat out, I don't understand the white paper, but that's not my job. My job is not to understand the white paper. Your job is to understand the white paper, and I paid you for that. My job is to put the app in the hands of consumers. So I'm going to stay in my lane, because I'm very, very dynamic live. And by the way, dude, we did QR code the app. So if anybody wants to try it, I'm just going to show them. Okay, go ahead. Take a picture, and off it goes. We got a new intern. Interns are the best, too, man, because these guys are sharp. They're energetic. They think outside the box, and we don't have to pay them a lot, which is a real good thing for me, man, because we're bootstrapped. But we're going to go live with this app. All right, this thing is absolutely going live. And when it does go live, we're going to be launching a token. Now, we're going to be launching a token over there on Outbid. Now, I've already gotten heat for it, because people have been busting my balls anytime I talk about it. You said everything doesn't need a token. And I agree with that. Most things don't need a token. But things that need a decentralized autonomous organization absolutely do need a token, because we're launching a privacy app, And if you've not been paying attention to the way that the world works right now, privacy apps are not really, government doesn't like those a whole hell of a lot because they can't see what's going on in those. So we need to make sure that this app will survive my incarceration, because I'm going to go right here. When they serve me, I'm going to give them the finger and say, I can't give you this information because I don't have this information. But the government doesn't really care about things like that. They don't. They care that you honor their wishes, whether you can or not. So we're going to run into trouble on this. As long as we're tokenized, as long as we have a DAO, the app carries on. Doesn't matter whether I'm there, whether Bell's there, whether Eric's there. It doesn't matter. It will carry on, because that's what really, really matters here. So because we're launching a token, and I'm so trying to be so careful about this, because Cosmos can't take another blow up. They just can't. Now, I don't expect many people, because our reach is gone now. Man, Cosmos is dead. Nobody tunes in. We don't get a lot of people. So we have to go where the people are. I just consider that smart business, man. I'm not abandoning Cosmos. I'm just saying you got to go where the people are. And that's all it is. And they happen to be over at Ethereum Denver. So, yeah, naturally, we're on our way. But I cannot have this token blow up. I need this token to perform as long as we keep pushing users onto the chain or onto the app. That's what we're doing. Those are the tokenomics that you designed for this, to make sure that the better that the app performs, the better that the token is going to perform, assuming nobody rugs it, because the only people who can are sitting right here, and we're not going to. Because there's no point in us doing this. We're building for the future. We're not building for 3 months from now. If we were, then sure, blow it up. But we're not. We're blowing. We're going all the way. Now, you've put safeguards into this to make sure that it simply cannot happen. You put the way that you design this thing is based on the margins that we gave to you, based on our pricing model. These are real world, provable elements to all of this. And I like to think that something like that makes it really, really easy to do. Now, I'm not asking you to go on record. I'm just asking you to explain to the people out here, because if nothing else, the podcast family needs something to look forward to. That's all it is. Something that is not going to nuke day one. Something that is not a fucking meme token, because this isn't. So I would just like you to explain for just a moment, because you did write the tokenomics. Can I get a verbal consent that, yes, you're the one who wrote them?
Yes.
Okay. So why don't you explain to everybody out here how the better the app performs as far as consumers means that the token is going to do X, Y, or Z. Are you comfortable having this discussion?
Yeah. I mean,
Take it away, dude.
price is not based on supply and demand as much as it is a mixture of buy pressure and sell pressure. That is a balance that has to be met. If there's more buy pressure than sell pressure, token go up. If there's more sell pressure than buy pressure, token goes down, period. If the app is successful, then it's making significant profits, like very, very, very high margin, well over 70% usually margin,
dude. Resellers.
And so with it being very profitable, and with enumerated and provable profit share directly to the DAO, and so much of that profit going directly to buybacks, it's very easy to measure out with, like, based on sales numbers, how much definitive codified buy pressure there will be. Now, this has to be balanced with sell pressure. So yes, existing token holders can sell, and that will always be somewhat independent, although we can do things that like lock up tokens for longer periods of time. However, what we can control and check is token issuance, whatever inflation there can be, that we're trying to counter out with this inflation. Our goal is, if and when we mint tokens and distribute tokens, that we do it in a way that leads to more buy pressure than sell pressure from that issuance. And so from initial passes, inflation is very low, like 3% or lower. And most of that is in a way that is not directly sellable. And really high margins, really high profit share. So if we're able to use the token, why have a token? Like, this is a new type of marketing. This is more efficient than previous marketing. This is an employee-owned company now that you can not just like buy a share and be part of it. It's fundamentally the way business should run, in theory, as we work out some kinks, as we're early in Web3. And so if we're able to use this token, use incentives to download, and use commissions to get you to share this with your friends and leverage what we've built with the token to get more downloads, to get more sales, then we're properly going to replace what we issue in tokens with which could be sold with significantly more buy pressure from the success of sales of the company. So yeah, with sells a lot of money, buy pressure happens.
Yeah, and we've already started doing it. That's the funny thing. We're already onboarding more and more customers over to Sigya. We have our beta testers, and that's fine, and we have enough. All right, we don't need any more. It's good. We're getting our metrics. We can see how this thing is performing, and that works. But I can't wait and launch and then say, hey, everybody download this. So we're kind of backdooring this whole thing. I've been doing I've been doing kind of an outreach on behalf of Vault Jackal, and all you got to do is send me your Jackal wallet address, and I will give you free of charge 100 gigabytes for effectively ever. So the idea behind that is that when we go live with this app, every single wallet that went through us is going to be migrated over to Sigya. I almost said Aegis Spell. Sorry, Matthew. It's going to be migrated over to Sigya. So you're now going to have the classic desktop, and you're going to have a mobile version. Now, it is our guess. It's not even a guess, man. It's a reality. I'm not allowed to say that, but I'm going to say it anyway. Is that more people are going to use it on mobile than they're using it on desktop. That's just it, man. Look, Dropbox is not successful because it's purely built on desktop. It's successful because it's built on mobile, and that's where most of the data creation comes from. So we have there's so many different ways that we're kind of attacking this. Now, we've onboarded approximately 300 people over the last 4 or 5 days. I need 10 times that. We need 3,000 people to be live on this app the very, very moment that it launches. That's what we're trying to go for. Now, anybody who comes on with us right now, it's free. Your 100 gigs is guaranteed. I guarantee it for forever. But 100 gigs doesn't last an awful long time when you start talking about mobile, when you start talking about phones, the features that we built in, all that other good stuff. 100 gigs doesn't last a long time. Eventually, you're going to become paying customers, and that's just fine for us. The idea is that we are pushing data up to Jackal. If you attended their town hall today, all it is about getting unique terabytes onto the network. So we're doing everything that we can to get unique terabytes onto the network. That man right there had a big say in the way that Jackal's current model is operating. Am I mistaken there, Eric, or did you have a hand in this?
I did quite a bit of work on the old V4 revamp.
Okay. So based on your work that you've performed on behalf of Jackal, is unique terabytes onto the network is it a metric? Is it something that you took into consideration when you were building this out?
Net sales is the most important thing for Jackal growth.
Yeah,
in my humble opinion.
Yeah, and what we do is provide that organic growth, because anything that goes through Sigya, we don't get Jackal for free. We have to pay for it. So everybody that's coming on to our network is indirectly coming onto the Jackal network. They're our storage layer. So with all of those things put into consideration, the only factor for us getting this app out is getting it in the hands of as many people as we possibly can. Now, we're going to incentivize the shit out of this. We will be giving an airdrop. We've already factored. Am I wrong there, or did we factor in the airdrop?
It's in there.
Okay. And the way that you're going to have to claim this airdrop is you're going to have to download the app. If you want to claim it, all of it, you're going to have to download the app, create an account, and upload a goddamn file, and you get your airdrop just like that. This is what airdrop should be used for visibility of the product, the monetized product. We are 1,000,000,000% right on all of this. Now, we're not going to get, aside from some of the big players that we will get involved with this when we actually go live on Outfit, I don't expect a lot of people, particularly the podcast, to actually come on and support us in this, because you guys are broke. You're broke because Cosmos failed you. The grifters won. The grifters absolutely won, and everybody out here is broke. So I don't expect to see a lot of the podcast family coming on, but I do want to let you know right now, I'm not Dave fucking Portney. All right. I want you to be successful any way that we could possibly do to facilitate that. You help us, we help you. It's just kind of the nature of it. So yeah, we're changing the game here, man. And it's going to stay under the radar until it isn't. We already have enterprise customers lined up, people that are coming on board to this. There's something that Eric and I had a conversation about. We're not going to disclose it right here because nothing is signed, so we can't. But there might be some agency that is involved and interested in a product exactly like this. So with all of those things that are coming up, that are going for us, it just increases my confidence level. And the best part about it is that I can onboard customers to Sigia now. That is what we're going for. Belle, I'm looking. I can see you right there with the hand on the mouth. Am I saying something that I'm not supposed to be saying? Am I going to get the business as soon as we hang up here?
No, I mean, we've got a couple of comments, but no.
Okay, why don't we get to those comments, Belle? Go for it.
All right, so Ambido, on-chain limit orders are janky at best. With concentrated liquidity pools, if you have a stop-loss feature, you can basically create a limit order. Is there a technical reason why we don't see limits handled this way on-chain?
A technical reason? No. I mean, depending on the network, gas can be expensive, but ALMs do offer this kind of stuff in basic strategies. Right now, most of the more prominent ALMs, ALM stands for Automated Liquidity Manager, by the way. Most of the prominent automated liquidity managers are setting things up to have your liquidity position kind of function like low leverage options by default. But if you wanted to set it so it's like, hey, like you're going to provide this in this range, but then if it gets so low, you're going to like buy back in and exit the position, which is basically what a stop loss could be. That would be a pretty easy strategy to set up. It's just mostly a matter of what do customers want and who's going to get paid to build all these vaults and what fees are they going to take from it. So I'm doing a lot of work around ALMs. If that's a feature you want, great. I'm really interested in V4 compatible ALMs with hooks where they can do a lot more than just provide liquidity on a DEX. And regardless of if you get like, if the price moves on and you're in a single asset, that single asset can still be deployed. There's a lot more cool things that you can do in those kinds of strategies, but those could easily include a stop loss. The next step, I think this is going to take a little bit more than V4 and current ALMs, is going to be like full hypothecation, which would enable fluid, like instead of liquidity pools, fluid pools, and fluid pools would enable market making the same way that centralized exchanges do, where like a market maker will have so much USDT, but they could put the limits on all of their different clients' things. And then as one of the tokens sells, they might pull the limits from the other side, have single USDT available for global buy side limits. When that happens, like this stuff is so scary to happen in an immutable blockchain manner. We're going to see a lot of shakeouts. We're going to see a lot of issues where a lot of people get rugged, and that sucks. But when it's at a point that it's safe, when sequencing is somewhat centralized in a decentralized way, honestly, a lot like how Skip's done it, which is one of the reasons I'm really bullish on them. And you can fully like pre-process which hooks and whose hooks are handled in which order. Then centralized exchanges are cooked.
You just blew up my brain, dude. Look, let's least common denominator this, because I am the least common denominator. Am I going to perform better in a V3 or a V4?
A V4.
Okay.
As long as it's safe.
Oh, okay, so that's a little bit of a caveat there, don't you think? As long as it's safe. Eric, are you going to be like the voice of reason and tell me can I call you and tell you, should I get into this one or should I not get into this one? Are you comfortable making that agreement right now? Because I don't know what the fuck you're even talking about.
Yes, and on top of that, we can do custom builds because we're working on this kind of stuff. So
okay, carry on, Bill.
All right, so Divergent Dan. Crypto is dumb, laugh out loud. If Jackal and AXV don't succeed, I'll be putting all my money in a total world index till I retire. I'm a simple man. By dumb, I mean I'm dumb.
Oh yeah, no, and I'm dumb too, dude. Look, and I'm a marketer, dude. I'm a broadcaster. I'm a hype generator kind of guy. So as far as understanding what the hell Eric just said, ain't got a clue. Doesn't mean shit to me. He's he's a universal basic income kind of guy. So you can laugh, dude. You know we're gonna have this discussion, but no, I don't know, but I do trust him on the economics. That's really where it comes down to for me. So I'm fine with that. Now, personally, what do I think is going to give AXV one hell of a good carry? Jackal and Sigya. I think that's what it's going to give them a really good carry. We've had the conversations already. What is going to be paired up against Sigya? And I don't know, Eric. Why don't we answer that right now? What is going to be the major pairing against Sigya?
Don't know enough yet about the token launch. We know, like, yes, Astrovault's on a lot of chains. Let's see what investors and grantors and partner chains are most willing here at ETH Denver. It's because, yeah, we'll see. It's not when the token's not launched yet. Everything is a sale.
Well, either way, I'm going to want a USDC pool against it. I'll fund it myself. It's not a problem, dude. I want to just make sure that Astrovault will host it. Will Astrovault host my Sigya USDC pool?
Yeah, we'll host anything.
You bet your ass you will, because that's all my money. That costs you nothing, dude, but a line of code. So get ready to put that in there, Benji. Anyway, Belle, anything else? Are we good?
Oh, Divergent Dan. What's the blue head guy that tells the Power Rangers their missions? That's Eric right now.
Is it Eric? Eric, you're a Power Ranger, dude. Those things are so gay.
He's Zordon.
You're Zordon, Eric. Did you know until this very moment who Zordon was? Did you have any idea?
No.
No, because you have nothing but girls. They don't watch Power Rangers.
I did skip school to watch Power Rangers and Beyblade a lot back in elementary, so God, I did not remember Zordon.
So gay. I mean, that's just so gay. Ghay. I know you got like 55 children, so I don't think you go that way, but I don't know. Anyway, carry on, Bill.
All right, last question coming in from Triple Tap. I know iOS is lying in wait, but is Sigya available on desktop today?
It is not. Everything that makes Sigya work actually does exist on desktop, but we're not going to launch that because it would be a direct competition against vault.jackalprotocol.com, and that does exist on there right now. We're in no kind of partnership with Jackal. All right, they're open source. Anybody can do whatever the fuck they want, so we're doing whatever the fuck we want. But I don't want to directly compete against them because honestly, I don't know if my guys are going to be able to go toe to toe with Marston, and I don't want to do that. There's no point. So if you would like the desktop version of Sigya right now, it's called vault.jackalprotocol.com. We're going to perform better as far as uploads go. We'll never compete with them on downloads because we're actually doing 2 jumps as opposed to 1. And they're downloading on Jackal Protocol is stupid fast. I mean, even when I do it every single time, and I've been doing it for years, I'm always shocked about how fast that actually comes down because you're not dealing with any kind of middleman. There's no intermediary. It's simply the protocol, your device, and the storage provider. So the better the storage provider operates, the quicker you're going to get your data back. It's just the nature of the protocol of something that is truly decentralized. And what I mean by truly decentralized is like that banner that's under there. Coney Daddy made that for me, by the way. I didn't do it. I have no ability to do shit like that, but Coney Daddy made that one for me. And who made the Astrovault banner, Bell? Who made that one? It was one of your marketing folks.
That was Daniel.
Yeah, and it's fantastic. Eric, do you have any critique on your banner that shows up on my screen 50 times every single stream?
I love it. It's fantastic. Like it? I'm so jealous of people that are able to do stuff like that.
Yeah, it's people accept banners. It's marketing, dude. All right, people are comfortable with banners. They've seen them. They see them on everything. They're cool with it. So yeah, there we go. The next one we have to get on there though, Bell, is for Karate Combat. Now there's another Karate Combat event that's going to be coming up at Ethereum Denver. So I don't give a shit what you got overnight, Eric. We're going to the Karate Combat event. That shit is great. It is fun. It is exciting. A lot of energy. They put on one hell of a good production. And even though none of us have any kind of financial relationship with them, dude, it's just good times, man. And I think crypto needs that. So anyway, Belle, we have nothing else. Is that correct? We're all good to go here?
We are all good to go.
All right. Then I'm going to turn it over to Eric. Go ahead and talk a little bit about where we're going to be seeing you at ETH Denver, what you're going to be talking about, what we're going to be doing. You know the drill, dude. This is not your first time on the show. Eric, take it away, sir.
Yeah. Thank you guys, as always, for having me on. Thank you guys for watching, asking great questions. Yes, we're all going to ETH Denver. We've got a very, very, very many meetings set up. It's going to be a crazy week and a half or so. I will be presenting towards the end. I've got a lot of partners and coworkers presenting a little bit earlier. I'm going to be presenting towards the end of the trip, March 1st, I think, on insurance and reinsurance through restaking. It's not just health insurance. It's also DeFi, TVL insurance, FDIC type products. Like, we've done some really cool work with a lot of the biggest names in Web3 and some non-Web3. The people that are getting interested in doing things on chain are bigger than you're expecting. It's very, very cool. So bullish on the space, bullish on the future of DeFi. Things are going to get better for a while, and then there's going to be another crash or two as people learn and grow. And we're playing with matches that are new, and we don't know how fire works yet. So please stay safe. But if you're a part of, like, this is the .com bubble, if you're a part of what comes out of this, we're going to do insane. And I'm just trying to build the tools of freedom that become the Amazon, the Google that comes out of here. I actually heard a quote, Scott, you're going to love this one. I heard a quote from a tokenomics buddy the other day, and he said, the Second Amendment doesn't protect your gun rights. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, guns do. Yeah, yes, that's a great point. And he's like, if we want decentralized, safe, private, but transparent financial system, then we just have to build it. They'll make the laws around it because they have to, because it's there. And I've now seen enough of the pieces that I didn't know were going to be there to confidently say that, yes, it is happening. It's happening soon, and it's going to be huge, and it's going to change everything.
And yeah, that is exactly right, man. The funny part about that, I'm not going to drift too far into that because we do got to get out of here. I refuse to turn over my firearms. That's it. If you want them, come get them. I have no illusion of an Alamo, and I'm going to be the last guy, and I'm going to take out everybody. I'm not Chuck Norris. I have no illusion of that. I just express my unwillingness to turn them over because the Second Amendment does say what it says, and it says what it says for a reason. Anyway, whole different conversation. Belle, why don't you talk us up, take us out, guys? I hope you enjoyed it. This is probably, I'll be live tomorrow. If it's not minus 19 degrees, I'll be live tomorrow morning, but that's going to be our last show of the week. After that, next time you're going to hear from us, it's going to be from Ethereum Denver. So Belle, please talk us up, take us out.
All right. Again, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who joined us this evening, we cannot say thank you guys enough. We do appreciate each and every one of you guys and the comments and questions you throw our way. Now, again, it's going to be a little while before we are live again, unless Scott and I get bored and decide to go live on Saturday just for fun. With that being said, until the next time we go live, if you guys have any comments, questions, or concerns, definitely don't hesitate to reach out to either Scott or myself, Scott at ThePodocasts.com or Bella at ThePodocasts.com, and we'll get those answered for you. Again, if you've got complaints or hate mail, those, just leave Scott out of that. Send those directly to me. I promise you they will be handled. Again, we can't thank you enough, guys, and we'll see you next time.
We are dropping new videos and podcasts every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. And be sure to look for us on Instagram, Twitter, and Parler at ThePodocasts. Also, visit our page at ThePodocasts.com, all